Hello, and popping away to the bloody music still. I need to change that intro. Hello, and welcome back to the Finish Line, proudly sponsored by Hollywood Bets. Tom is early, as always. We just started without him. He's always late. Oh, look at him. Seek of the devil, and he will arise. We started out.
Hello, guys. How are you?
You are live.
You're late.
For fuck's sake.
Late. I am late, yeah.
This people is always saying to us, why always late in the live shows? Where is he? Wait, that's backwards.
Yeah, it is normally me.
That's why.
I was, outside gardening all day. Got a little bit of suntan. Well, sunburn, really. But, yeah. All good fun. How are you guys?
Grand.
Good.
All good. Up to date and all that jazz.
Lovely.
We won the league. Go on, what? We'll find a way to
Won
fuck
the league.
Yeah, we'll find a way to fuck up the championship now. Don't worry.
Liverpool went top of the league there for a few hours. It was a good weekend.
All right. They won't spend long there because City are going to overtake them again. Blue moon. Anyway,
You are literally a Man United fan.
I would rather see Man City win the league than Liverpool.
It's your worst nightmare, really, as a United fan, isn't it? City and Liverpool.
City and Liverpool
Right
fighting now. Terrible. And then you go back and watch how we were yesterday. Oh my good God, we're so far off it. It's not even fun. We're going backwards. Get Ole back. Ole is at the wheel. There's nothing there. Like, there's no plan. There's no system. There's just players running around like hellish chickens. Oh, anyway. Before we get into all the weekend racing, just shout out to Hollywood Bets today, sponsored a big day at Plumpton Breast Cancer Awareness Day. Put a lot of money into it, sponsored 3 races and put on a lot of things inside the track. So as far as Sussex Cancer Centre, which we all done with Jamie Moore. If people don't know, his wife Lucy was diagnosed with breast cancer last year. Thankfully, she's over it now, but they looked after her while she was going through her treatment. So between ourselves, Jamie and Dan Thompson at Plumpton, we all got together and put this day on today. So hopefully it'll be an annual thing. Went really well. Lots of money raised, and from the feedback we got so far, all good. So well done to everyone involved, Brendan and Jack and all them in the UK and everyone else. So that's the first bit of news. Second bit, Curra next Sunday. We are sponsoring the Gladden Stakes in another Group 3, which the name has gone out in my head right now. We are giving away 10 pairs of tickets. All you have to do, if you want to go, is... what will we do? Comment below this video, Hollywood Bets at the Curra. And 10 pairs will be given away, and the winners will be announced on Wednesday's live preview of the Aintree Grand National. So again, all you have to do is comment below Hollywood Bets at the Curra, and you will be getting tickets for the Hollywood Bets sponsored day at the Curra, where there's 2 Group 3s, which usually throw up 1 or 2 good winners. Now, that's that out of the way.
Whatever you're touching there is really muffly.
Yeah, I started moving this because it kept falling on me. It was this as well.
Yeah,
That's really muffly. Please
really,
don't do that ever
really
again.
annoying. Yeah,
Shouldn't have told me.
it's actually
like
not too bad.
yeah.
It's when it's on the table that's when it's really annoying.
All right. Fucking Mr. Perfections. Shut up. You're always there. You can't be getting on to me. Anyway, how was the weekend besides that? We get back into the chat.
A good weekend.
Yeah, apart from I'm looking at myself here, and I'm more sunburnt than I actually thought I was. So, yeah, no wonder I'm tired.
Here now and a bit down here, going across onto your nose.
Yeah.
Like, what was here? The biggest sunglasses known to God.
No, I didn't have any sunglasses.
Some Kim Kardashian sunglasses.
It's now that the hair's going, I get it like up here, and it can get quite sore because it's straight down on the sun, and
I can see it now. This time next year, we'll have 2 bald people on. the
Shave your
finish
head, Tom.
and I won't be one of them.
No, I've an awful shaped head. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do in the next
Can
few
we,
years.
can we do some charity thing that you have to shave it? The Coast of Cora charity day. If I end up doing the cycle, you have to shave your head.
How does that make any sense?
Cora.
If you do a
It's
cycle,
for a good cause, man. Dave, back me up here. It's for a good cause.
It is for a good cause. You should do that, Tom.
You should do that.
No.
You should
It
do
is
that.
going though. Look at that. Jesus Christ.
We'll do that. We'll do it just on the finishing line at the Cora, as everyone is passing on the bikes.
No, you're okay. I'll donate some money, but I'm not.
You want to do the cycle this year?
No, I'm the support driver this year. And then somebody says Hollywood Bet sponsoring the Gladness Stakes. At least that's one race you won't be slagging off, Andrew.
Correct, Alex. Correct. You are right there, my friend.
That's the race of the week next
No,
week, Alex.
It's the derby of Group 3s.
Screw the Grand National. It's all about the Gladness.
Yeah, the hell of the Grand National. I'm on the Group 3 Gladness Stakes.
No, I'm the support driver this year, and then I will cycle next year, and someone else can be the support driver.
Me.
Yeah, that's my excuse anyway. But
You
yeah,
did a good job
weekend.
last year as a support driver, Andrew. Going to the Curragh and getting drunk while I got a puncher and you were nowhere to be seen. To
Who
help.
goes on? No, hold up now. Who goes on a charity cycle and does not know how to change a tire when it goes flat?
I would probably do that.
That guy.
Yeah.
That's why there's a fella in a van or a support car driver to help. You didn't do what you were supposed to do.
I didn't need to because there was a support car van, a bloody mobile van that had all. Oh Jesus! That had all the things.
Mobile van, Dave. I didn't know vans were mobile. Static van.
Shut up, you Scarlet Witch there.
Oh,
did you or did you not solve the problem? So I would have drove and wasted my time and would have been not happy.
Brian Faulkner solved the problem.
I was there for moral support. When you came across that line, I was like, well done, lads. Proud of you. Well done. I was kind of like into end of my hand, had a pint in my hand and I was clapping. Good day.
We should say as well, shall we? That we're going to be at the Curragh next weekend.
Yes, we all are. Me and Dave will be working.
I didn't get that gig.
Dave's the new Hollywood Bets person that does all the handing the trophies and goes. And I just go, well done, Dave. Proud of you.
I'll be drinking.
That's down to a T. You could not do that. He has it down to a T.
I'll be drinking plenty of wine and putting it on your tab, Andrew. So
you were supposed to be off the beer. I told you this last week. And wine, alcohol, all alcohol.
So your invitation has been revoked, Tom.
No, I was good last night. Actually, we went to a friend of Siobhan's house and I drove and drink.
Did you drink?
No, I drove.
Are you going to have a drink tonight?
No, I'm very, very tempted, but I haven't.
Did you have a drink Friday?
No.
You had to think. Well, he did. Look,
I had a beer. I had one beer on Thursday.
See? This is what you're dealing with, Dave.
I haven't drank all weekend. That's good going for me.
You're saying you have a problem? Was your mother right all these times?
Yeah. She does have a point. In fairness, I joke about it with her, but she's definitely got a point.
I don't have a problem. As he sips out of his cup.
In better news, anyway, getting off my little alcohol problem there. Our Napsal went in this weekend. You two doubled up, but yeah, Peas Badil went in. So yeah, good weekend for us. I like that.
How long will it last? God only knows. About a week, I'd say. Right, shall we start with the review?
I don't know what you're doing, but it's very
muffling shit. Like,
sorry, I done it again. Sorry. I just have my notes on this thing.
We gave him headphones. That'll stop him doing it.
You're like two old bitches today. You've had too much sun and you're not getting rid of it enough. Those moody bastards.
Will you stop with the bloody muffling?
Oh, no, look. I need them. Hold up.
I'm glad Dave's as white as a ghost, so we don't get confused who's who in that sense.
I put him here, and I won't have to touch him then. Hold up. Stay. Now, happy. I can't actually see the screen, so actually I have to move it. Right, here we go. Scottish champion hurdle. Oh, yeah. Anna Benina gets the job done for John McConnell. Irish horse coming across the Irish Sea once again and comes home with the trophy. Not shocking there, but anyway. Tom, you put up West Cork. Probably just got done on the line, really. Got mugged, as they say.
Yeah, usually I thought he got well supported in the market, and I thought he was going to win for most of the way. Probably thought he was going to win jumping the last. I wasn't really watching Anna Benina too much, but on the replay, then you can actually see Sean Bowen. Like, you know, he gave it a hell of a good ride, and she was definitely well on top and the best of these at the finish. It's a good handicap, I suppose, isn't it? I mean, you'd Milkwood in there off 150, and then it goes down to West Cork off 142. So, yeah, it was a good handicap. Anna Benina, you know, does a lot of her running, in the UK. So it's difficult to know, you know, where that improvement maybe came from. Has been dropped a few pounds this year, but yeah, it's not like one of these Irish raiders who's come over and got stones up their sleeve. So I think that one's just on the UK handicapper, really. They dropped her to a mark that she could win off, and she's gone and won. So yeah, look, a fair handicap, but that's all. I'd say West Cork will be interesting again, but I think it's probably at the right mark. I think it could win a handicap off 142. I don't think it's chucked in by, you know, £7 or £8. I don't think it's a 150 horse, put it that way. I think it's just a handicapper, and off around that mark will probably pop up one day. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they go chasing next year or what they do with them. But yeah.
What are you thinking of it, Dave? Anything really to take out of? I know it was an end of the season kind of glorified handicap, if you would. Look, there's muchness in. Anna Benina was second in last year. West Cork showed his form again. One for the road, solid season. You don't avoid a Rev Milk would really run his race again. It's not much really to take out of it in hindsight going forward.
The whole card is just much of a muchness, really. We were talking about it yesterday. Good win for Anna Benina, but it's just standard handicap, nothing spectacular.
You can't see any of them now. I'd say the next place they could end up going is Punchestown or even the Galway Festival, the hurdle. Would West Cork, Tom, on that? Would West Cork be a horse that would interest you if he turned up there?
Probably not.
Okay.
Interesting if they did go, but I think there's probably better handicapped horses in the Galway hurdle than him. Or you come up against the Saldia, which is a genuine grade 1, maybe grade 2 horse running in a handicap off 150 or whatever. And those types of horses beat those handicappers 9 times out of 10 for me. So,
right, move on to the actual Scottish national. I forgot to put in that the grade 2, do your job. He actually done it really well. Boosted Edward Stone's form again. Won by a handy 5 lengths, Dave. Did you see this? And there was talk that he might end up at Punchestown after this.
Yeah, he was impressive, and I suppose if you're fancying Leopardstown going forward into next year, you're happy with that. But I thought he was impressive. He tanked his way around, and he won fairly easily, to be honest.
Yeah, Tommy, he went around in this race like by far the best horse in the race. Jumped really well, travelled really well, put the race to bed. I think it was 3 out. It was never looked in any out, really.
That's good to hear, because I did not see this race and I have not watched it back. So
busy drinking.
Not a clue.
Garden.
Right.
Gardening, yeah.
What was the text he sent us? Who won?
Pisbadil.
Pisbadil. What should you go off and buy, Tom? Tell the lovely people.
Yeah, with my Peas Deal winnings, this is how you know you're getting old, listeners. I got excited and went off yesterday afternoon then and bought a wheelbarrow and a garden incinerator. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're the young one out of the three of us.
I know.
Apparently.
No going out for the night to celebrate, anything like that. No. Garden incinerator and a wheelbarrow.
Wow.
Bad times, that is really bad.
Oh.
Houses. Anyone who's like renting or anything, if you think you've got it bad and you want to buy, do buy. It's a good long-term option. But by God, if you buy somewhere that needs work, never ending. Like there's literally 50 jobs I could do in this house, and I could probably spend 100 grand. I could literally spend 100 grand and not be finished. It's ridiculous.
And they always find something for you to do. You could do things for 3 months solid, and the second your arse hits the chair, would you not do that?
Yeah.
Breed. Anyway, moving on. Scottish National. Ended up being an absolute rout in the end, Tom, with Win My Wins. Christian Williams had a dub, which is nice to see. Again, he probably is one you can't, she is, should I say, is one you can take out of, but at that as well, she is 9, going on 10 next year. But speaking of now, very good winner.
Yeah, very, very good winner. By God, she absolutely bolted up. Won the Ida well, but I didn't see. I don't know. Hindsight's a great thing, isn't it? Probably could have seen it in hindsight, but off an £8 higher mark. I know they put Rob James on, who's a very good jockey, but I didn't see her doing this to the field. Put it that way. I thought she'd won good handicap in her, and she'd won it. But she's absolutely battered them, absolutely battered them. So, I don't know where next or what next for her, but she could be a Grand National horse next year, couldn't she? She'll get into it now. Clearly stays very well, travels very well. Could well be a Grand National horse. Kitty's Light second again is still only 6. Feels like Kitty's Light has been around for about 10 years.
Needs to jump a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, kind of got a bit far back, and it was going to be difficult for him to come from where he did. But by God, he ran a hell of a good race. Probably going to creep up a little bit again in the handicap, but is due one of these now. In fairness, really is due one of these. And of the rest, they were strung out like washing, weren't they? I think Vintage Clouds will probably be retired. Will he? Doesn't look in love with it anymore.
He is retired. He was retired.
He is. Yeah, I didn't see that, but I was guessing as much. But that's nice to see. Cheltenham Festival winner going out. It just doesn't look like he's in love with it anymore. So fair play to him. Goes off for retirement. That was it really. Stormy Judge finished lame. Fantastic Ass didn't run very well. Much for muchness.
Ask a Honeybee decided to be a kamikaze diver at the fort. That was one of the weirdest runs I've ever seen in my life. The team was getting driven along after about 2 fences. Halfway up the next circuit, she was first, and then decided to try nosedive through the fort last. Anyway, Dave, look, we talked about this already. We don't think much of it, really. Wing by Wins, probably the only thing to take out of it, really.
Yeah, Kitty's Light will probably win a decent pot at some stage when it puts it all together, but it's just an absolutely terrible race. I know Tom gives out about veterans races and all that, but I've got no excitement out of that race yesterday. I would prefer to see the 11 and 12-year-old veterans run around. I just thought it was shite now, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like we talked about it, and we both came to the agreement that I don't give a shit if I missed it now, to be honest. I was not one innuendo of excitement came into me when I was sitting down watching this. It was just like a bog standard handicap that you'd see on a Tuesday around somewhere with a really well handicapped horse winning it.
I had a €10 free bet and I used it on it, and I'm glad I lost no money because I just was like, yeah, it is what it is.
You're kind of sickened though. You use it on that now, aren't you?
No, I said the Ferry Master, so I went with what I said on the podcast, and that was the end of that.
Yeah. Right, we are going to move on to Leopardstown and the Ballylynch 2000 Guinea trial, where we saw Dr. Sev being heavily backed on the day. Took a keen hold, Dave, most of the way through it. Led easily going to it. Kept on really well. But I think 7 furlong looks like to be his maximum distance that he's going to get. But again, he could come on for that. Aidan O'Brien horse coming on the outside looked like he was going to get him at one stage. Very good performance though in the end. I doubt he'll get the Guinea strip really on that.
Yeah. Some of Aiden's are running great. Some of them are running like they need a run and probably would be better second time out. But he was very good. Going by his breeding, there's not a chance he's going to get a mile, and he's probably lucky to get it. To get to 7 furlongs. Leopardstown's probably a track you could get away with it at, but a stiff track, there's not a hope, I wouldn't think. But he's one to keep on side for sprints, and 7 furlong races going on in the season. He's a good horse, good colt.
I kind of came away with the opposite opinion. I thought that the fact that he got the 7 furlongs at Leopardstown would have been a kind of a gradual stiff finish, that back on a more flat track, like say the Curragh or somewhere like that, it could be very hard to beat us on a flat track around 7 furlongs.
Well, he won't. If he gets the Guineas trip, I will. I don't know.
I don't think you get a mile. I don't think you get a mile with 7 furlongs.
I'll grow my hair out.
We tried that before and ended in a disaster. Tom, what do you take out of this?
Yeah, interesting to hear Colin or Jerline, I think, saying that he's not too worried about the trip for him. But as Dave said, the pedigree is all speed. I thought he was coming to the end of his tether there. Kind of just quickened towards the front, off the front end. The one for me to take out of it was the Acropolis, Aidan O'Brien's horse. Really well raced as a 2-year-old. Had 8 runs as a 2-year-old. Didn't really build on his maiden victory. But they kept campaigning in group races and kept persisting. He is another one that, he's by Churchill. He's out of a pivotal mare. Wouldn't really suggest he wants a trip, but by God, he was hitting the line well. He might just be one of those that wasn't that special as a 2-year-old, but looks a big horse and looks like he could have improved from 2 to 3. So if I was going to take one out of it, it would definitely be him.
Yeah. I think the top 2 going forward could be very good horses. Right, we'll move on to the 1000 Guineas version. Probably one of the performances that impressed me a lot this weekend, Dave. Homeless Song, the way she picked up and the way she put the race to bed, turning in for home, was very, very good. Sacred Bridge went off fight 4, ran like a horse that needed the run. Came there with a challenge, kind of faded out a bit. My selection, Cantarelli Chapelle, ran no sort of race, took a keen hold, nearly fell about 2 furlongs into the race. Don't know what to make of that, so be putting a line through her. But all in all, very good winner, beating the right horse in the end. If you forgive him his last run, her last run, where she went off favourite for the Richmond Stakes, she only finished 6 to 4. Geez, hindsight, as we said earlier, hindsight's the great thing.
Look, the fillies, the form be up and down for the start of the season. Cantarelli ran like a sprinter, and to me, she's going to be a sprinter. I don't know why they're trying to hold her up. She pulled too hard and nearly fell off her because of that. The winner won well, but she did it last year in her maiden and then threw in 2 stinkers after that. And as far as I could see, there was no real reason for it. I think the horse to take out of it is the second. She got swarmed by the winner and then started fighting back. A mile and further would probably suit her. I know Tom put her up. I put up the other Joseph one that didn't run. But yeah, she's loads of Group 1 form. as a 2-year-old, I think she will be better on the Guineas trip on the mile. So I'd say Joseph's horse is the one to take out.
Tom, with that, as Dave alluded there, she done it on a maiden last year and then threw in 2 wobblers. Do you think that was just lack of experience last season, and she won? You'll keep a keen eye on going forward.
Yeah, look, it could have been. For her turn of foot was electric. Like Chris Hayes said, go, and by God, she took off. I thought she was very, very good now. By Frankel out of a Dubai mare, half sister to a black type horse that got a mile 2 for Ger Lyons. So I think there's definitely stamina in there. I think with that speed, she's probably a miler. I was happy with Agatha. I thought she was quite a big price. I backed her each way. I thought we might have nicked it on the home bend. Again, ridden like one that they definitely knew would get the trip. And I think a step up in trip is definitely going to suit her. Was running 7 furlongs last year, a mile. She ended up out on heavy ground and stuff. So I think definitely a bit further in trip for her. Villanova Queen didn't get much of a run up the rail. Shane Foley just sat until it was definitely open for him. I thought she ran really well. Sacred Bridge got cut up by the winner a little bit, and Colin Keane, you could tell that he wanted to look after her. He didn't want to bully her or get her bumped around the place. So I think she was one to take out from as well. And are we doing eye catches later, Andrew?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll stop there then on this race. But yeah, good race. I think Agatha up and trip. Headless Songs, I wouldn't rule out. As Dave said, I wouldn't necessarily know if she's going to back it up again, but I wouldn't bet against it either. I think she's very, very good filly.
Yeah, as you alluded there, her turn of foot was electric. Even with the camera angle, you see her taking off on the outside. I thought she stayed on really well. If she backs it up like she could be anything really. Agartha looks like to me that a step up and trip will bring out even more improvement out of her. Villanova Queen took my eye now. As you said there, Tom, Shane Foley had to sit and wait to make a challenge. She could be one that I'll be keeping an eye on. So yeah, top 3 in it are very good going forward. Sacred Bridge, you give him another chance. Contarelli, Chappelle, my selection, I think back down to Sprinting, as Dave said, will be more to her taste. Right, Tom, on to the Ballysax. Pisbadil, your nap of the weekend, fought back really well to beat Buckaroo. Both of them pulled 3 3/4 lengths clear of Duke de Caesar. I think Pisbadil looks a Derby horse all over, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he stays very, very well, this lad. I texted into the group there with us two and said on Saturday morning, I can't understand why he's so big. I really thought he'd be favourite. He drifted out to 5-1 at one stage, which was crazy big for me. I don't know why he was that big. Yeah, look, came there to win it, got a lovely run, then gets headed by the second, who is another horse to take out this definitely, and he had the momentum, and Pisbadil fought back on the rail, which is something he did when he was second as well. He kind of got headed and was fighting back all the way. I love his attitude. I think it's fantastic. I think if Ulysses is putting that attitude into horses, then he is a stallion that I definitely take note of anyway. I think he's only 10 grand for a cover. He might not be too fashionable sales wise, but I do think he's going to be a really good sire.
The thing I like with that as well, even with him being out Ulysses, he improved for age as well. So there could be no end to this fella's improvement this season.
Yeah, he was a somewhat like a stout horse, wasn't he? Who stayed trained to improve with age. And yeah, this lad, I thought this lad was class. I just really like him. I love the way to get headed like that as a young horse and put your head down and battle back. That's just brilliant. So yeah, I think up and trip again definitely suits him. And yeah, I wouldn't like to say where he'll end up. I think he could be think he could be pretty decent. And the second, God, the obvious one to take out of it as well. Quickened up really, really nicely. He's just got out battled by the end, but Chain Cross did nothing wrong, came there to win his race, and just got out battled by another one. But yeah, I think the form of that is very strong. They're 3 and a bit lengths clear at the end of the third. So I think the two of them were a good bit above the rest.
You on the same kind of wavelength there now, Dave, with Pisbadale. Looks very, very exciting going forward.
Yeah, he looks a good horse. We had talked about him on the podcast. We give him an each way chance in the Derby, but I imagine there's something more classy than him and has a little bit more speed. But I'd be very interested in maybe later in the year in the St. Ledger. I think he definitely get the St. Ledger trip by how he stays and he fights back. Joseph has aimed a couple of horses at the Ledger and won it. I could see Donica maybe doing the same. I think he definitely get the Ledger trip. So I'd be more interested maybe backing him out the coast. He wants all of a trip anyway. He wants a mile forward. Definitely wants a Derby trip, and I could see him staying on in the Derby, and then they may be aiming him at the St. Ledger.
Yeah, same as that now. I thought the further he's going to go now this season, the better he's going to be. Whether he's good enough to win a Derby now is another thing. But on the same wavelength as you, Dave, maybe later down in the season, St. Ledger might be right up his alley. Right, that's the last one we're going to cover. Next, we are going to go to our eye catchers of the weekend. Tom, right, you have your one already for today, so you take it away.
Yeah, as we said, there were a good few eye catchers in the 1,000 Guineas trial at Leopardstown. The one outside of the first 4 that caught my eye was Lyon's second string, Panama Red. Got no run really around the outside. Got pushed very wide, not ideal at all. And then once it hit the straight, stayed on very, very nicely. Will probably go a bit under the radar because it wasn't the stable's first string, but took 3 runs to win her maiden last season. But then on the back of that came out and won a listed race at Leopardstown nicely. So I just think there was plenty didn't go right for her there. And I don't know where they'll go next. I think they'll probably stick to a listed or a grade 3 race. And yeah, she might go a little bit under the radar, but she could have finished a lot closer. And I think that form is pretty strong. So yeah, Panama Red.
You, Dave?
Mine was in the bumper today in Ferryhouse, and it's the winner of the bumper, Doran's. We are going forward over hurdles next year. She beat Pink in the Park, and I think all of us thought maybe Pink in the Park at Leopardstown was a bit unlucky. She might have went a little bit too early. Patrick committed her too early. She went off favourite today, but if you look through the winner's form, she had been beaten in the bumper by the nice guy who the Mullins team seemed to not give any chance to in the Albert Bartlett. But to me, he won it fair and square. I think he's going to be the type of horse that will keep surprising connections. She gave him a good race in the bumper, won today. Looks like she stays really well. I think she's a really good horse going forward for not the biggest of connections or the biggest of owners for next year over hurdles.
Mine ran in the maiden first race at Leopardstown on Saturday, and it's Yashin for Jessica Harrington. Finished 6 lengths behind Hotel Wren of Noel Meads, who beat Janubi of Ger Lyons by a nose, and then it's back to Pine Gellibrand at 13-8. This horse to me looks like it's crying out for a step up and trip. His form of his first maiden back in August last year, the 2nd, 5th, and 6th. Well, the 6th didn't come out and win. The 6th was beating a short head in the photo finish. But the form is stacking up well. If you go through it properly, you can see it tying in with the likes of Buckaroo. Well, I think the step up and trips, you get a handicap mark now, or he'll get a handicap mark off this. He was gelded before this run, so there could be a bit of improvement to come from him. There's stamina on the damn side. He's out of unraised Dan Silly Mare out of Churchill, so Cyrus Churchill, so there is room for improvement, stepping up in trip. So I think he could be one to keep an eye on for handicaps going forward. So that's Yashin for Jessica Harrington. Right. Questions from the crowd, as they say. Chris, watch this now. Where do you guys see the nice guy being aimed at, Dave, for next year?
What used to be the RSA, the Browns Advisory, or whatever it bloody called.
Brown Advisory.
Yeah, I think that's the obvious port to call for him.
Tom, which plotter is the quickest? Santini or Denman?
Denman is definitely a faster plotter than Santini. Yeah.
Still can't believe you said that. That's absolute dog shit.
I'm not getting into it again. Context needed, lads. Context needed.
Let's get into it.
You said he was a plotter, Tom. You did.
He said he's a plotter. He's not a plotter. He's a
galloping. Compared to horses like Galopin de Champs, who have a lot of speed, and Corto Star, a lot of speed. Denman didn't have a lot of speed. He went one pace and galloped them into the ground.
So he's a galloping machine, not a plotter. Plotters are really slow. This fella goes really fast at one speed, and they just can't catch him.
Which race will Fakir go for? God, I saw a Fakir debate the other day. Some people calling him an average horse. Jesus.
You nicknamed that horse Yaki or Doodery. So don't start. Don't be coming on here on every podcast and abusing that horse and then trying to say he's good.
You're backtracking faster than Michael Jackson moonwalking off the stage.
God. You sit in the fence enough. You didn't sit in the fence about him. You call him Yaki or Doodery.
Yaki Daddy. Come on, defend yourself.
Before Lingfield, when he should have ran there in the Grade 1, I went through Spawn. Outside of Grade 1s, he's such a solid horse.
Did you or did you not nickname him Yak or Doodery?
I honestly can't remember. If you say I did, I probably did. I can't remember, genuinely.
First sign of admitting denial.
Oh, if I did, I called Denman a plotter. I've no problems with that. I would not. I have no idea.
Brian K. Santini, a good chance at the national 2 years ago. Yeah, now no.
It's too slow. You need to be quick enough.
He needs it to be bottomless ground and all the rest of them not to turn up.
There's another one there. Alex Mansfield, 8:37. Native Trail all the way. Tom Corbius on Native Trail in the Guineas. And by the sound of Charlie Appleby's interview the other day, it's Native Trail all the way as well. So to get my Bob Ollinger and Native Trail double up, I'll be very happy with that.
Will Paul Nichols pull Brave Man Game out of Aintree if their name comes?
No.
No, because Whitney Mullins doesn't have any horses or any Irish horse running in, I'd say.
I hope Ahoy Senior runs and batters him, to be quite honest.
Is he entered in it? I didn't look at the entries yet.
No, he's entered all right anyway. He won't run that.
Brave Man's Game will win that race.
You hope.
Flat track bully is all he is. He's a bigger bully now than Bob Ollinger.
I'm looking forward to the national. I like the national meeting Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's the other thing. There's a sale on Thursday, and Put the Kettle On is entered in it.
But why not? Oh, you disappoint me.
No, she made way too much money. She's been a nice broodmare though, very nice broodmare. But yeah.
Question from Kubo. What horses that ran at the Cheltenham Festival put you off backing them at Aintree? Most ran okay at Ayr this weekend, i.e. do start West Cork.
It's a minefield.
I would be inclined, unless the field doesn't have much strength and depth. If it does have strength and depth, I'd be inclined to kind of stay away from them.
Yeah, like Dusart and West Cork ran all right, but they were in terrible fucking races.
Awful. And he struggled to win that one.
Yeah, Dusart he's a plotter now, Tom.
I took the words out of my mouth.
He's a Ladder.
And he's
He
just
sank
not
in the
that
sky.
good at it. No, Aintree, I'd lower your stakes for Aintree, lads. Aintree's
for
a
money.
minefield.
Just back
Yep.
everything Willie Mullins runs.
All of my free bets for the last few weeks from my betting accounts that I get free bets on
You mean Siobhan's betting against?
have been put on Delta work for the national.
Steer
saw-
clear of Delta work. That's what that means.
What's that?
I said
Steer
that's
clear.
Steer clear of Delta work.
I think
I think he'll take some beating in that.
he's got a hell of a chance, lads. Hell of a chance.
Look, if the ground is good, he won't. But if there's a little bit of soft in the description, he should be all right.
Rodney McKee said Lahome Presley is entered against Brave Man's game.
I've just
Fair
read
enough.
they said they want to go as well, so
I hope they do because he'll batter him as well.
Beaten. Great. Kevin Johnson, where does Galvin Deschamps go next season? Surely too classy for the Gold Cup. No, he wins the Gold Cup. You heard it here first.
Gold Cup, yeah.
3 mile plotter like Denman.
Yeah.
I have no idea where they go with him, to be honest.
Tom, you need to go to bed, boy. You're so hung. You're so.
I've saw in my eye now.
You're so
You have.
sunburned. You're so sunburned. You're getting tired and everything there.
Yeah.
That's sunstroke in the morning.
Yeah.
Zanny here and Piper. Tom, I don't agree with much what you say, but that I agree with my son. 100%. Where are we? So it's a great point, is it? But the Ketlan has more championships than Jagan. So true. And else.
Roll on Wednesday.
Yeah, that little.
For the week.
We are doing the 3 days of the Aintree Grand National Festival on Wednesday. We're going live at 8 o'clock. So join us then, and we will give the winners of the tickets for the Curragh as well. So again, all you have to do is write Hollywood Bets at the Curragh underneath this video, and 10 random winners will be picked. And 3 of us will be up there. 1 or 2 other people might be up there as well. I'll see what is Gavin had to text. Gavin's easy going.
Drinking wine on Andrew's tab.
Not my tab, so you can drink all the wine you want.
Get my money's worth on Sunday, Dave. I'll tell you that much.
Like, it's in the St. Ledger bar now, and there's a wine case now. It's as high as the ceiling down. Like, there's a bottle of that, and that. John, we don't know. No, just put them in the bag and I'll take them with me. Yeah, why do we have a bill at $3,000?
Tom drank some wine.
Yeah. Anyway, Alex Jeffrey, Bob and Cole for the Fox Hunt. There's not a hope in hell. Can't jump.
I'm gonna crack up, feet, and stop muffling that thing. I'm done with this now, right now.
What's the muffling?
It must be rubbing off something, but I've had enough now, so say goodbye.
It's your mouse or whatever you're touching. It's chronic.
It's this. It's just that. I will not use it, isn't it?
It's not that.
Is it that?
No. Are you touching the laptop?
That?
No.
I don't know.
Why is this stopped right at the end of the podcast? Damn it.
So, anyway, that is us done. We'll see you Wednesday live at 8 o'clock for the Aintree Grand National Preview.